Welcome to Through the Looking Glass. While here in Wonderland, we're going to discuss topics and share stories to help clear up the distorted views of relationships. We provide a safe place for balanced and honest conversation. While each episode can help all who listen, the focus will be on the community of color. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 3 of season 5. We are happy to be back. We've been getting some interesting feedback from the first 2 episodes. I like the interesting feedback. I got one word that said interesting. And I'm like, interesting good or interesting bad? And it just said interesting. So I'm gonna take that as good. Because all the rest of the feedback has been more descriptive. So Mr. Interesting, you know who you are. Thank you for listening. Now we're going to jump into handing things over to Marcus, but before we do, we're going to do our little mental health run through. I'm going to start with Chris because Chris started us recording late. So we're going to start with Chris tonight. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing all right. A rough couple of days. Just going through some things internally, but I'm getting through it.
Okay. Well, we're here. You got a whole squad here. Even though the best of smart asses.
Some of y'all, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, somebody just said they was gonna kick me when they saw me. So
I mean,
violence
I
is
said
never
it.
the answer.
I said it.
See, I won't
At least
call
I'm
you
telling you, I said it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Keisha.
good though. It's all love.
All hearts. How you doing, Keisha?
Hello, everybody. I am doing okay. I'm all right. Today, I'm okay. Earlier this week, it's been tough earlier this week, but I'm okay today.
Okay. We had two people going through some stuff. So I'm glad you guys are here. Marcus. How you doing, Marcus?
Hey, I'm doing good. Just working through some things, doing good, no problem, no issues.
Oh, we're working through some things.
Everybody working on self. Working on self. That's all. Good.
Well, glad you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you're here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. I'm very tired. Yeah. And I'm here too. So let's get this going. Let's move up the energy. So we have our clip for this week. I'm handing the reins over to Marcus because he's going to lead the rest of the episode here. I'm going to run the clip and we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and make that happen.
You know what it is. If you've seen this, well, you needed this. Look, I know it may hurt a little, but you need to know that everyone is not replaceable. I'm going to say that again. Everyone is not replaceable. So this concept of cutting people off and you're going to bounce back even better can be a little inaccurate. Everyone's not replaceable. And when you finally meet someone that's irreplaceable, you need to learn how to give grace for their growth the same way you desire. Everyone is not worth throwing away, and some people are worth working through the relationship with. Remember that.
All right, Marcus.
Yeah, I picked this one because I myself probably have ghosted people and probably left some people in my life and relationship that may have still need to be there, and maybe luckily to have got some back in my life. So, I mean, I picked this one because it kind of was close to the heart, because I've done it to a lot of people, and so some were meant to stay, some were meant to go, and it's just sometimes you got to be able to, like he was saying, have that grace to allow people to grow, or some people got to have that grace to allow you to grow. So some people have a lot of grace with myself, so it goes vice versa for me. So it's so I see this clip as something that that was that was important to me that I thought that we should share and talk about. On that note, I'm just gonna dive in and just see what was your first reaction, just to see your first reaction when you heard that. I'm gonna start off with Keisha.
My first reaction to it was, it kind of made me think back to like some guys that I've dealt with in the past who have ghosts for whatever reason, and then they came back around. Or guys that we just, we made a decision to go our separate ways, and then they came back around. So it kind of made me think back to those situations. And though they may not have said it in those words, like the guy just said, but I'm wondering if that's what they were feeling. Because I have some that constantly, like, it doesn't matter if, we're not friends on social media. If I block them, they tend to kind of still pop back up through calling from a different number or something. So, or email.
That sounds like a stalker. I'm just saying.
No, it's not every day or every month or anything. It's like holidays or whatever. It's like, dude, you don't have to like wish me a Merry Christmas or anything. So
they just pop up in the inbox every now and then.
Well, I've had a couple of them, but then there have been some who just actually would pick up the phone and just, have a conversation and say, you know what, you made a great impact on my life. I wasn't ready to move forward with stay in a relationship or be in a relationship or whatever, from whatever the situation was, some have actually stated. And then I've had like maybe one or two who they didn't just come out and say it, but you can tell maybe it could have been that where they felt like, this person is not replaceable.
I felt like, I think what you were saying, like, was kind of like you was in their life for a certain period of time and you improved them or whatever, but when they came back around, it was just, they was just letting you know, thank you for what you've done for them through that experience. So I felt like those guys right there, would you agree that they were just there for a time period? They weren't there for the long run?
Well, I'll say this, and I'm sure there's other therapists out there who can possibly relate. When you're in this field of counseling or being a therapist or spiritual, it's times that it's real tricky, when it comes down to meeting someone of the opposite sex or either whatever your orientation is, it's on you. But it's hard because especially when you are dating with a purpose, because you may come across somebody who is there because they actually need something from you. They need healing. It's like somebody you plant the seed and somebody waters here and somebody watered there. And when you confuse that,
gotcha.
Sometimes, you would actually be the person who end up hurt because you have to know, is this person here because this is a potential, or is this person here is because it's something that I need to deposit in them or they need to deposit in me, vice versa.
Gotcha. Chris, what you think? I appreciate that, Keisha. What you think the impact was on for you, man? How did you?
I mean, as far as giving grace, it just has to look like what you have to decide when like enough is enough. Like I understand, like you have people nowadays, it's like at the first sign of some type of like issues or red flag, they're like quick to cut people off. But like I said, if you're like in a relationship, a long-term relationship with somebody, and then it's like if you continue giving that person grace, how long? I mean, how many times does it take before that person may begin to take you for granted? I know we brought up ghosting, and we talked a couple times about ghosting, and y'all know my thoughts are on ghosting. But just trying to see exactly. Y'all say y'all can't hear me?
Oh, you good? You good? Your mic was
kind of breaking up a little bit. Okay, yeah, but no, but it's okay. Yeah, but it's like knowing, like you have to decide, or like how much grace is like the right amount before you feel like you're just this person is taking you for granted.
Yeah,
Because I
I
know
agree with that.
I've been in situations. Yeah, no, I mean, like I've been in situations, different relationships where it's like I've been given grace, and then kind of just taking that person for granted, and it wasn't until like it's like you never realize you had until you lose it because
Gotcha.
you just take it for granted. So it's like I think sometimes, I mean, I understand like okay, a few times, especially if that person has voiced their opinion
Hmm.
about what is something that you're doing or something that's going on. But it's like if that person continue to not improve or fix on something you might have brought up, then it's like I mean it's like enough is enough. It's time to go.
Yeah, I can see. Just like he was saying, like like you were saying, like the red flags, seeing a bunch of red flags and how that impacts the relationship or the friendship or whatever may occur, and that may be your deciding factor to cut that relationship at that time. But in the point of like, can you like as far as like giving grace, that's just a part of it of the process. But I agree definitely what you were saying about you know how much enough is enough, how much you can take. But I'm gonna move on to Michelle to see what what she thought about the video and what her take on it was.
I mean, I thought he had a lot of good points.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it from both sides. Uh, mm, have I bounced on people without giving them a chance? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna sit here and say that that has not happened.
Have you ever regretted?
I don't know because I didn't feel that person gave me enough to miss anything. So typically when it happens, it's really soon. It's really early on, and it hasn't been a situation where I've been with somebody for months and then I'm like, okay, I'm leaving, and then I'm like, oh crap, what did I do? I've never had that. I try to get out before emotional investment happens. Because once emotional investment happens, at least for me, I tend to stay in the fight way too long. And I don't know if it's the Pisces in me or what, but I tend to stay in the fight way too long. Um and I think it's kind of the other side of it. Like Chris was saying, like how much is too much? How much will you put up with before you say, okay, enough's enough? Like, are we going to keep this on life support much longer? Or are we going to pull the plug? So if I do go into a situation and I didn't bounce in the beginning, it's probably the other side then. Like something happens and that person, for whatever reason, the relationship ends. Now, do I regret those types? I think I'm more in the mindset of you take what is good, you take what you learned from it, and then release. If that person's meant to be in your life, they'll cycle back around. It's that like that saying, if you love something, let it go. And if I don't know, what is it? If
Not
it's
true. If you let it go, it'll come back to you or something like that.
yeah, that saying, if you love something, let it go. And if it's
Come
meant
back
to
to
be, it
you.
will come back or some crap, right?
But how true is that? How true
I
is
don't
that?
know. I have people who orbit me all the time.
I was saying, like, oh, it's a butterfly. Let it go. It'll come back to you. You love it.
But the question is, why does it come back? I guess
Maybe maybe the regrets
back to
on
the
their
real.
end then, right?
So is it regret or is it attraction or is it emotional connection? What
Is
is it?
it
If they come,
boredom? Is it
yeah,
this person's
it,
familiar? I guess it's
yeah.
different for everybody. I don't know. All I know is from that clip specifically, it was more of I can see what he's talking about, like this
Mm-hmm.
throwaway culture that we have.
Uh-huh.
It's a situation of, well, he didn't, I don't know,
But
fill my car up today.
yeah, that's petty. You know what I'm saying? That's petty.
What's
And
petty
he might,
though?
like, I was saying, just because he refilled a car up,
No, I'm just giving
you know what I'm saying?
examples.
I'm just saying, that's
Oh,
what I'm saying. That's a petty example. I mean, I'm just saying.
I've seen females do it though. I've
Yeah,
seen
but
females leave guys for less than that.
Oh yeah, probably so.
And
I
I've
said
seen
I think
guys
that's what a
bounce for
great
less than
person
that
is.
too.
Yeah, that's true.
So the
Yeah.
question, I think, goes back to what Chris said. What is your non-negotiable? What is enough's enough? And what are the things that would, signal you to kind of stay with that person? And so if I flipped it around, and I know you driving the boat, but if
Nah, go
I
ahead.
flip it around, my question would be, okay, I agree. There's absolutely relationships that you need to give grace. You need to put some time in because it's worth it for whatever reason, for personal growth, for building, for whatever reason, for love, whatever. But how do you know it's that relationship? That's my question.
How do you know? Say that again now.
How do you know that person's worth doing the work for?
Ooh, I think that's a gamble. I really think it is, because people can camouflage so much until they may look like it's worth it, and it may not be, or maybe they look like it's not, but it's a strong possibility that it is worth it. It's a gamble.
I think every relationship, I mean, it's kind of a gamble. I mean, you just now starting to meet somebody, and whether or not you're gonna stick it out and be there for the long run. I mean, it's a gamble. It's a 50-50 chance that this person might be for you, might not be for you.
But there's got to be some indicators to say, okay, this person might be.
I mean, it might be the signs. It might be little stuff. It might be stuff that
like what?
I mean, okay. I can be petty. Let me see. But it might be it might be they might not do something a certain way, or they may not.
No, I'm saying stay, not leave.
Oh, stay?
What are some signs? And that's for all of y'all. Like, what are some signs for you? Because everything's individual, that the person's worth putting up with some stuff for to maintain it.
I would say one of the signs would be when it's like it may have been a big deal in the past, but you're kind of like, nah, I don't. You kind of let it slide. You might bring it up to them, but you let it slide because, okay, I thought this was a big deal, but it's like for this individual person, it wasn't a big deal.
Give an example. I was just saying, cause sometimes
okay, all right, no, I got an example.
Yeah.
So an example would be, let's say if let's say if you're not a big person, like let's say your communication skills aren't the best. You're not a big person that you're gonna like send text messages, you're gonna like talk on the phone or anything like that. But then this person might bring it up to you like, hey, like you didn't call me today, or you text her. So now you like self-consciously you think about it, like, okay, I know you're doing something more so not for yourself, you're doing it for that person. So you're gonna send that text message, you're gonna just
like
send a
video
message throughout
calls,
the day,
right? Like
no
video
matter how
calls.
busy you are with work. Yeah.
Like video calls?
Yeah, something like that. Just something quick throughout the day.
Okay, but
no matter how busy you are, you can take that 5 seconds.
But my thing would be like, okay, he's not communicating, he's not a bad communication. He's bad at communication, but he does all the other stuff. Now, what I'm saying, if he does all the other stuff that you like, and he's just bad at communicating or sending texts or thing like that, is that something that you can look past? Is that what you're talking about? Like something that can like slide because he does everything else right?
Well, I wouldn't say anything like that, because I mean, it depends on if communication is big on you and this person, they can give you everything, but they're not giving you that communication, then you're still going to be caught lacking. That's like when we talk about the love languages. If somebody's love language is quality time, but you are a busy person as far as with your job, if you're running your own business and you really have time to spend with her, no matter how many trips you can send her on and like all these big fantastic gifts, she's still going to like feel empty, because all she wants, like, it's cool to be able to go on these shopping sprees and on these trips for the weekend, but if you aren't there with her, and it doesn't have to be all the time, it can just be like, 30 minutes, y'all just sitting in the house talking. That's what she wants. So if it's if that's most important to her, it doesn't matter what everything else is.
So I would say, like what Chris was saying, like if that person or that in that relationship, you guys are able to adapt to each other and be able to give and take, that may be a sign of it's worth staying.
Okay.
Ladies, Flora.
I mean, that makes sense. I know for me, it's a situation of and using Chris's example, I think that's spot on because I'm introverted. I think their whole freaking world knows by now. And there are some things that if you find yourself in a relationship with an extroverted person, you're gonna have to be able to do.
Right.
And you have to adjust. And I know Keisha has had those challenges too, because she's extroverted being in a relationship with an introverted person. And it's never anything purposeful. We just operate different. So if I'm in a situation where I know being available by phone, by text, and then, my bestie's an extrovert, you have to be available outside of your time frames. Or if you're with somebody who wants the video chat and that's just not your thing, you make arrangements to do that. So I can definitely see that, okay, if somebody's coming out of their comfort zone to grow the relationship, I would say that's a key indicator that it might be worth pushing through the hard times for, because whatever your core personality is, to come out of that, like Keisha knows if she gets a FaceTime from me, it is such an accident. I did not mean to hit that button.
She hangs up so fast, it's like, oh, and it's gone. Like,
my bad.
And you'll be excited. Oh, we FaceTime.
I do. Like, oh my gosh.
But I do. Stop it, Chris. But I have FaceTimed her, and if I was in a relationship with somebody where FaceTiming is important, I will come out of my comfort zone and say, okay, I'll do that for right now and stare in your face and hold and just do this. So
hold on, but Michelle, I would say, you see how like you responded to, okay, you're doing it, and it's more so it's a major task for you to do that. When you get to the point and you like, okay, you want to do it for that person, your whole attitude is going to change about it. So that's how you know, hey, this person is worth doing it.
I wanted to do it, but it's like,
but the way you just said it, you was just like, okay, all right.
I mean,
let's just hurry up and get this over with. It's gonna be a whole different attitude when like it's that person, it's that different person where it's like you want to do it. And then that person is going to see that, and it's going to mean more because like you're doing this because you want.
I don't agree with that.
No, I think
it's still a labor. It's like getting up to go to work, or it's kind of like going to the gym. Oh, I don't feel like doing it, but once you're there, you're good.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I don't feel like smashing right now, but once you start, you're all good. Like I think it's the same thing. Like I don't feel like freaking doing this FaceTime thing. But when you start, you're like, oh, this is straight. Like I like looking.
Yeah, but so you brought up going to work. So like work, they said if you're doing something that you enjoy, then it doesn't feel like work. So you're not going to have that, let me go to work. You be excited, like, yo, let me go to work. Yeah.
I love my job, but it's still a chore to get my ass out the bed. I have people calling me and it's like, oh, you're still in the bed. I absolutely am. But I love my job. So I think it depends on the person. If I don't feel like doing it, that's here's I think the difference with me is if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. Right. So if somebody's like, dude, just FaceTime me 10 minutes. And I'm just like, oh, if I don't want to do it, I'm gonna say no. But if I'm like, okay, like I'm not hard to talk into things within reason.
Oh, I'm about to say that's a slippery slope you're going down.
Ooh, within reason.
That's a slippery slope.
I'll try anything once within reason.
So what other things are there are signs, are good signs that the relationship is worth giving the grace, whether it be a friendship or a relationship, like a partnership.
Humana. I think communication.
Well, we just said that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but if you
Yeah.
can't communicate with somebody, I'm not talking about the mode
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
modality. I'm talking
Yeah.
about, I have a problem. You hurt my feelings. This is what you did. This is how I felt when you did this. What are we
Right.
going to do to not let it happen again? That
I would
think,
say it'd be response back to that though. Once
What do you
y'all had that conversation, once you had that conversation of I feel and this right here what you did and you say what what they did and what you feel like they should do, then I feel like if that person is making effort to listen and understand and take consideration of what you said and work on it, then I say that's a sign of that's a good sign. But if they don't, then no,
so
that's
you're
not
saying don't talk about it, be about it.
after you
Yeah.
have the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
After the discussion, but like you said, what you were saying too was the communication aspect of having those I say deep conversation or those dark conversations that nobody wants to have, and what your response is to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's that, you know what I'm saying? So that would be like the telltale sign of okay, is this growth? Is it worth giving grace? And for it to keep going forward.
I can see that. I mean, that all makes sense because, again, it's not only about what you say, it's about what you do. So I can say, I'm not going to do this again all day and then go out and do it again. So my communication skills with you can be amazing, but my follow through could suck. So I think follow through is a big one too. Like, be a man of your word or be a woman of your word. If you say you're going to do something, freaking do it. And if you're not going to do it, don't say you are.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just give lip service because some people will just say it just to pacify you and shut you up, and
Oh, look at
then
you
not
talking
even
about
think
some
about it
pacify.
afterwards.
Look at you and your words. Go on, Chris. Chris said
Look,
pacify.
man, see,
Chris said pacify. It said it right. He
Let that
used it
man
right.
talk. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
yo, see, look, man, I told you I've been working on me
I'm
these
proud.
past few months.
I'm
So
proud of
look,
you.
man, I'm getting there.
Bro.
So and look, you know what? I appreciate you seeing my growth and development. Now, sometimes, like I said, I do fall back, but hey, oh, she threw me the little party joke. Okay,
Yeah, I'm proud,
yeah,
man.
but yeah, but also, I know I can feel when somebody's just paying me lip service, and I'm like, man, they not gonna follow through with it.
What does
Like
that feel like?
you said, what does it feel like?
Empty.
It's empty. You feel it's like just an empty gesture that they're saying this just to make you feel better, but you afterwards you feel it you go with your gut and you feel it like, man, it's gonna be the same shit all over again.
Do you call it out when it happens?
No.
It all see that it all depends on the person. If this is somebody that you feel as though you can build something long term, you might not call them out on it. You may not call them out on it, or you might kind of be a little bit more passive aggressive about it.
But is that helpful?
Oh no, being passive aggressive, hell no.
Right.
I think
not.
call it. I think you should call it out because that gives that person the opportunity to either be checked on it and do something about it, or continue to mess up.
Here's a question for all y'all then.
Right.
How long do you wait to call somebody out? Like I'm the same day. If not right when you do it, it's gonna happen because I just can't. I don't like
No,
don't
for
do
me, I'll probably give them the opportunity to see if they're gonna catch it themselves first. But it all depends on what is said and what it is.
that. Right.
So
Who it is,
yeah.
basically who it is, and because
What
sometimes
makes it different?
most of the
What
time
makes
you
it
know
different?
that because most of the time you know that person. If it's somebody like right off the street and just say they're gonna do this and that for you, you know what I'm saying, you're probably gonna take light of it. But and you probably known him for a couple, maybe known him for a little bit or whatever, and he say what he's gonna do, you probably gonna give that a little bit of grace. But if it's somebody you know for 20 plus years, that's right then and there.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? So I mean, like that. That's what I say.
But what about relationships then? Intimate relationships, not somebody on the street or somebody you know. Well, I mean, you could know that person for 20 plus years, but like,
Oh, that's true too. I would say
It all depends on what stage you're in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're still in that like early kind of getting to know you phase, you're not going to give that person much grace. But if there's somebody that you've kind of put in some work with and you have that like equity built up into them and into the relationship, then you're going to be a little more lenient for us giving them a little bit longer leash.
I'm different. I'm completely opposite.
If
I barely know you, if I barely know you and you do something out of pocket, like Keisha said, I'm gonna see what you're gonna do with this, because that's gonna tell me more about your character. If I've known you for a couple years and on, and you do something, I'm gonna be like, Marcus, that was messed up.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't like it. Versus some dude who just trying to holler and they do something, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna observe to see how he maneuvers after doing what he did.
But that's just what I think. That's just what Chris said, though.
No, he said it backwards.
No. I said the opposite. Yeah. Because I would say Michelle is different, because I tell you, man, you got these women nowadays where they look, man, you just meeting them and you talking.
I play the long game.
They look, man, they ain't giving you no grace. You have a day. Yeah, you have a day where you don't send them a message or you don't talk to them. They don't hear from you in 24 hours. They will block
on
you
to the next.
And you're like, yo, goddamn, 24 hours. I might have had a family emergency come up.
Okay, Chris, I got a question about that. So how many days is okay to go without communication? And
good question. Good question.
How many days?
Keisha, I thought we was friends, man. Why would you ask me?
Come on, man. Come on.
I'm asking for a friend.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe 2-3 days, but I just know me. Sometimes I need that, like I don't feel like being bothered. Now I have gotten better at telling people, like, look, man, I ain't feeling it. I'm not in the mood. You might not hear from me, but then people still be like, yo, that's not an excuse. Like you should still send me a message that you're all right. And I'm like, dude, but I'm telling you that I'm not all right. I just need some time and space to myself. And some people just like, nah, hey, bump that.
I think that's an individual thing. If the person I'm talking to is going through something and they give me a heads up that they're going through something, all right, I'm here if you need me.
But I got a question. So if that time happens, and this is for you too, Marcus, and those days go by, and let's say you didn't say anything, you just need a break, and maybe you didn't even think to even tell that person, would that be considered ghosting?
That's ghosting.
Yeah, that is.
2 days with no talking and no heads up about what you're doing. That's ghosting. I say move on.
Okay, so if that person swings back around because they needed that time for themselves and some days pass by, now they swing back around, well, hey, what's up?
Nah, you don't.
You just can't jump back into that.
Yeah, it ain't no restart. I mean, I mean, if it's entertaining you want to do, but do it at with a long pole. Gotcha. Keep them at a distance. I don't. Long pole. Keep them at a distance. Keep them at a distance. If they come back around like that, and you kind of, that's when you got to start watching and looking and seeing for other stuff. But that's if you want to continue to entertain that. You know what I'm saying? Because if that happened that time, then what's to say he goes again for like 4 days or something like that without speaking to you? I mean, I'm not saying he's doing anything or nothing like that in the background, but I don't see a reason. I don't see a problem.
No sugarcoat, Marcus.
I ain't giving nobody benefit.
No, don't sugarcoat. He probably is. Yeah, because if somebody just went 2-3 days, if they went 2-3 days without talking, they just gonna jump up like, "Hey, what's good?" Like, yo, what? Like, dude, where you been? Like, at least I would, like, when I've done it and not giving any person a heads up, I'll let them know, hey, this is what I got. This is what I had going on. I might not disclose everything that was going on with me, but I'm going to let them know, hey, this is how I was feeling. And then sometimes it's been them that caused me to feel that way. And then I just say, hey, I just had to take a step back
Right.
and think about something. And this is where I'm at right there.
So
then and now it's up to that person, like, hey, are they going to give me the grace? And like far as because I was forward with them coming back, but I'm not just gonna jump back in it and be like, all right, we just gonna pick up right where we left off. Because come on, man, that's not fair to the person that you did that to.
Right.
Absolutely.
I agree. But how long for the men? How long is too long for a female not to reach out to you? Or do you expect a female to reach out? Because that's another question.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect for them to reach out, but well, who's doing the chasing? I mean,
Does it have to be a chasing?
No, I don't think it's really a chase.
Who's doing the chasing? You guys, I mean,
looking like a wolf.
You got some people that are predatory, but prey on things. But you got some people you got some people that don't like to call or don't like. You have introverts that don't pick up the phone and don't like to, reach out.
An introvert will pick up the phone if you are special and you're important.
If they call and they pick up, then that's good for you. But every now and then I would think a guy I'd say a couple days, maybe two. I might be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing, 2-3 days.
Okay. I mean, I thought 3 days. Yeah. I'll start thinking.
What are you thinking?
So
I'm thinking like, what's she doing? What she got going on? What's going on?
So do you say something or you just let it happen?
I mean, once I make but after a while now, I give up. I would like not say anything.
Wow. So you just give up?
Hold on. Wait, hold on. What you mean I give up?
If it's 3 days, going by and I have not heard from this person I'm in a relationship with, that we've been, say that we talk, pretty good every other day or every, however, and it go 3 days without talking, I definitely want to know what's going on. And then if it happens again, then I'm probably gone.
Interesting.
You continue to reach out to this individual?
Good question.
Yeah, if you do reach out. I mean, but if you reach out and they call and they be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, can't really say what's going on or whatever, then that's a red flag, right?
I don't know, is it?
I'm asking. I think so.
I mean, this your video clip.
Yeah.
Hey, my clip.
Are you giving them grace?
I'm not giving grace. I'm not giving grace.
Okay. All right.
Can I ask the group a question?
Go ahead.
Of course.
So this is like but yeah, I don't like the way you gave me this look I seen the fear in your eyes and the fear like, oh my God, I don't know where this is ready to go.
I'm ready.
But no, go. But I have a question. Like let's flip it. Like let's say somebody ghosted you or somebody just cut communication ties with you.
It's happened. How
long or how many times would you continue to reach out to that person until you just give up and just be like, look, all right, cool. I guess I'm not going to see or speak to this person again. How long would y'all go?
I'll go first because I'm guilty. I don't be reaching out to nobody. And that's probably why I'm single. I don't text. I don't have dudes tell me straight up, like, dude, you don't call, you don't text. I don't do none of it. And it's not because I don't know. I just don't. I'm the responder. I will respond all day. I will respond and text you to death all day. But unless there's a cadence, if there's a cadence, like I'm the morning text, you're the good night text, or I'm the good night text, you're the morning text. But if you ain't texting me, I ain't texting you.
Right.
If you ain't texting me, I ain't texting you. If you text me, then we'll keep it going. But if I'm looking at my phone and the last text was mine, I mean, I might double text. I sure the hell ain't triple texting.
That's petty. So
it's petty. It's a lack petty. Of response. It's disrespectful. If I'm texting you, you can't even answer. That's disrespectful. I know you got your phone.
Hold up. Calm down.
Woo!
Oh, oh my God.
I should have issued a trigger warning.
Right. I might do a wellness check after a few days just to
Are you allowed?
on planet Earth, and then that'll be it. But doing that whole cycle again, no. I'm just
Now, I mean, I've been the ghoster, but I've reached out, and I reached
Why
out.
did you go? Tell us.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Marcus. Why did you ghost?
Why?
This is not about-
three
this is
reasons
not about
why.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Pass.
Why did I ghost?
Give us just three. I know you have several, but give us
Several.
3 reasons why you have ghosted in the past.
and then Chris goes next.
Oh,
Because I've
Chris, I
ghosted
wouldn't go
because
get you.
I've ghosted because I didn't want to take the advice that was given to me. I've ghosted because I felt like I was wrong, and I was, you know what I'm saying, I didn't know how to say it, so I ghosted. And let me see, I was ghosted too, and I ghosted. I've ghosted just because I got bored of the situation.
Mm.
So those are my 3 ghosts, and I probably got some more, but I haven't thought about it. But yeah.
Thanks for your honesty.
And I've received grace on a couple of those.
That's good.
Chris,
All right. So all right.
I must caveat, he is a Gemini. Okay, go ahead.
Well, they know. But no, so now the reason for my question is, and like I said, we can have
No.
hold on. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not gonna tell the whole why. So now most times when I go, it's probably because I felt disrespected. Disrespected most of the time. And then it's like sort of like a pride, like the disrespect and pride. But brief question,
You're gonna have to repeat all that because the devil
Mike.
said the devil is a lie and God don't like what you're saying right now, and we can't hear nothing you saying.
Yeah, bro. Hold on. Who me or Keisha?
You.
Because I thought Keisha was talking. I couldn't hear her.
No, everything that you said. Like, after you said this, like when you ghosted because you feel disrespected, everything after that just went away.
God know you lying.
So I had wow. That's a major accusation you're making, ma'am.
The universe has spoken.
So I had someone who we were talking, kicking it, hanging out or whatever. And situation happened and I felt like nah, I was done. So she would like call me, I wouldn't answer. She'd send me a text message. And then
a situation happened and I was done. You ain't gonna give us nothing with that.
I don't think you want to know the situation.
So she was disrespectful.
I don't think she meant to be disrespectful, but it's like
it was the drink, right?
No, it was wow. Didn't go. Come on, Keisha. I thought we.
I'm sorry, Chris. Be good. Yes, I'm sorry. No. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But it was one of those things where the Michael Jordan thing. I took that personal, and and it possibly was maybe I ain't gonna say a compliment, but I felt like I don't know. I didn't like the way it was said to me, so I was like, man, whatever. So she would like call me, I wouldn't answer. She would text me, I wouldn't respond to the text. Okay, cool. So a couple months go by. She still at least once a month. She just sent me a text message, and I know she had the red receipt on because one time I accidentally opened up the text thread, and then she texted me back and said, "Hey, I saw your message. I saw you read the message. Tell me what
Androids
I did wrong."
can do that too?
We're going on 2 years now.
I don't appreciate it.
I'm
Oh,
just
see,
saying,
here we
I
go,
didn't think
man.
androids
Look, man,
could do
see,
that.
look, hold on, we-
Okay,
look,
go ahead. Hey, y'all
But Chris,
teaching me
Chris,
look,
something.
not
Chris, I see
discussion
what
tonight.
I see
But
what you're saying, Chris. I see what you're saying.
yeah,
But I mean, so you like just because you felt like disrespected, then
yeah.
you
But
don't
we're
do
going
it
on
next
almost
time.
2
But you
years
just
now, and she's still sending these messages.
you might want to
You said what?
give her some
Yes.
grace. Give her some grace.
No.
Did you tell
But
her you felt disrespected? Like, look, like
yeah,
some people, because
yeah.
that's a big thing. Like, I can say stuff and it come across as cold or something, and I don't mean it.
Cold.
And the thing is, like, if somebody don't tell me, I don't know. So did you at least tell her? You didn't tell her,
No.
did you? Wow.
So
No,
next time she texts, and we come back to the show, text her back and tell her why, and then we'll talk about
Yeah, I mean, that might have been your person.
What? Give me homework to do.
it. Homework, baby.
Yeah, but look,
But you only gave
man,
me,
yo, no,
Chris.
but
You gave
it's
me one. You gave me one. That's one.
no, it's like yeah, I mean, but any other time, just ghost is just like, look, man, it's like, okay, it's time to get off this ride. It's like we got to move on, man. Like our time, y'all know what the message is. Here for a good time, not a long time. And once the time is no longer good, it's time to
Who
leave.
makes that? Who makes that
Once
call?
it's no longer good. Me.
Who makes that
Once
call?
it's not. Once
But it's two
me.
people. It's two people in the relationship. So why are you the only one who gets to say you suck?
I don't say it.
You just
You
ghost.
just walk. You go
My actions speaking.
Wow.
Have you ever regret ghosting? Have you ever regretted?
That's a good question.
Have I ever regretted ghosting somebody?
You have.
Yes, but not in the way you think. Never mind. Be quiet.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's interesting. Go ahead.
See,
Okay, no. I'm asking because it ties back into
He
the
getting
topic.
flustered. He getting
Yeah,
flustered.
It ties back in. Like if you regret it, you came back around. Obviously, you feel like this is somebody that can't be replaced in your life, so you're back.
He's back.
I told you I've been going through some stuff
Okay.
internally. And like,
Okay,
y'all,
we'll
like,
part that.
But you know
That.
what, Chris?
You
When
don't have to go deep.
Talking is healing.
I understand that. I understand that talking is healing. But
You don't have
there
to.
comes a
It's
time.
okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, but it there comes a time where it's like, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? And it's like you kind of look at both sides and try to see what's best for you. And then, well, you never know what it's going to be. You never know what it is, but it's just sometimes, yeah. I mean, so like I said, I regret the ghosting, and then the person came back around, and it's yeah.
So when they came, wait a minute, when they came back around, before you answer that, who initiated? Was it you or was it them?
No, she did. She did. And then against my better, because normally, like I said, normally if I ghost you, it's no spinning the block or anything. But she had reached out to me and we started talking, and it's like, I don't know. She just, know what I'm saying, she had a, know what I'm saying, grasp on me.
She had a what?
A grasp. You know what I'm saying? She just it was something about her. But like you said, so like I said earlier, she had me doing something that like I normally wouldn't do. Like normally I would have seen the call and would have just ignored it or so not answered anything like that. And I answered the phone call.
She changed your actions.
Yeah.
Oh. Sounds like
So are you still have you ghosted this person again, or are you still in connection?
I mean, I don't know, but we got a few minutes, y'all, and it's Hey, we got the right. Hey,
Oh, he's still in connection. I can tell.
No, I'm not. No. It's been a little while. It's been a few, maybe. A couple like messages here and there. Just hey, what's going on? This and that. Nothing like too much or whatever. But yeah, like.
Okay.
All right.
I'll tell you that if she ain't got no attachments to her, you might go ahead and hit that up then, buddy. But okay. But people.
What, Marcus?
I,
I'm just saying. But we about to wrap this thing up. It was that was good advice. It wasn't bad advice. I was just saying if they were making a connection, then that he should indulge in it. And
it might be your person.
And grow it and give that grace that we talking about.
It
And that
literally
that we come back, what I'm saying? Because you can't just drop people right then and there with like that cookie cutter phrase. You just can't drop them at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You got to give some type of time frame for it. Like, get to learn that person, see what they about, learn about them. So what would you guys, being the end of this session, what would you guys say? What would be your main points of staying and giving grace or not staying? I would say go around the table with that. We'll start with you.
I don't think Lisa heard you. I don't think she paying attention.
He was one. Say it.
He said you were Charlie Brown.
Go ahead, one more time, Marcus. Go ahead.
No, I want to keep
I'll go ahead.
Give your do's and don'ts. Your do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts for what?
With grace and letting people back in your life.
Oh, Lord. If I give you grace, you better make it worth it. That's my thing. If I give you grace to come back around, you really need to make it worth it, because that's going to probably be your only shot. There's not going to be a continuance thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy, because now you're not being accountable. You're not taking my thoughts, my feelings, and my desires and considerations. So no. So you better make that one-time shot of grace. Better make it worth it.
Shell.
I would say I would say can you go to Chris first, please, and come back?
Go ahead.
Okay. No, I can go ahead. I'm sitting here and it just popped in my mind. And I just want to say I'm disappointed in all of us. And the reason I am is because like we talk about no, listen, wait, let me finish. Let me finish. But we talked about giving grace, all of this. But y'all know the one thing we always talk about, what's the quote? When someone shows you
who they are,
believe them the first time. So then that goes opposite of giving grace. No,
you can believe them, but you can still give them grace. And here's why. Okay, so I can go and do mine. I feel that if I have a connection with somebody that I don't have with anybody else, if I feel seen, if I feel heard, if I feel safe, I'm going to give that person grace. If they shown me garbage behavior, if they have held themselves accountable and willing to do something about their garbage behavior, I'm going to give that person grace, because a lot of times, and this could be an issue, many of us who are in the mental health field have, when you know somebody's story, you know why some of these behaviors happen. And it's not necessarily the behaviors that are, it's the behavior that's a symptom of something. So if that person's addressing that and doing the work, and I know I'm not going to be able to find that connection, I know I'm not going to be able to find that safety someplace else, I'm going to give that person grace. It's the times where people don't take accountability. If somebody shows me who they are and their garbage, and they don't take accountability or work towards doing something about it, you get no grace from me. And I think for me, that's the difference. Being accountable, doing the work and showing up for me, but showing up for the relationship and themselves, then I can do that. Anything other than that is out the window. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that really just kind of, you can still believe when they show you, but there is reasoning behind it. And are you going to be able to do the work or allow grace and space for that person to address it? Because I mean, I've had behaviors that some people have brought to my attention and I've changed them. So it really comes, and that's why I asked you, when that person, you felt disrespected, did you say something? That person might not have been aware that she did that. And the fact that you never said anything, she didn't have the chance to make any changes. So those are my answers. It really comes down to what my core connection was with that person. If it's something that can be replaced, and if it's not replaceable, then I'm gonna do a little bit more work to maintain it.
That's good. That's good. And that's it for this episode. I appreciate you guys for listening. Be safe, be well.
Take care. Take cares first.
I'm not gonna do that. Edit out. You can do it.
All right, y'all. You can find us on our socials. We have individual TikToks, so I'm gonna link them in the chat below. Not the chat, the pod notes below. But as always, you guys take care. Stay safe. Be well.
Ooh.